Perfect. And now that we're inside, there's a little dialogue. When you leave your cage and talk to Sid like this, there'll be a small bit of movement with Zidane, so just hold down here. Talk to these guys, and then once you get teleported through, you'll have to hold right to talk to Kuja. He'll ask you to pick your team. Right. Do not get this wrong. Do not get this wrong. If you get it wrong, you cannot alter your party. And you're probably going to throw your entire run. Take your time. You're going to want Freya, Quina, and then Amaranth. In that order. When you touch down, we're going to do a quick menu. So, we're going to go to our equips, and we're going to go on to Freya first. When we optimize... So, we're optimizing Freya here specifically to put the rebirth on her and keep it out of the way. We're not really changing much of Freya's gear here. We're pretty much doing this optimize on her first so that the rebirth ring ends on her and we can manage it easier. Is the primary reason why we're doing this. Then we're going to scroll to Quina, and that's going to put all of the gear that we want to put on Quina on immediately. Scroll to Amaranth, put all of the gear on that we want to put on Amaranth. Scroll to Zidane, optimize one more time to finally give him the Angel Bless. Older versions of the Petro route then take the yellow scarf off of Amaranth. You can do this if you want, if you need some extra money, but keeping the yellow scarf on him means that you have the ability to kill ogres with a single throw and a one Zidane attack. If you take the yellow scarf off, you can't hit that damage roll anymore. So I would recommend leaving the yellow scarf on if the notes say to take it off. Once we've done the optimize on Zidane, we're going to scroll back round to Freya, and then we're going to remanage her gear. So your cursor should be at the top. We're going to go down to her headpiece, put the Iron Helm on so that we can finish learning level up. Scroll down, or you should wrap round really, to put the Lapis on, which will be R1 and down 1. If Freya actually died to Gizmaluke, you'll need to put the bronze armor on her here. She should be missing Bird Killer if she died to Gizmaluke. If she didn't die to Gizmaluke, don't worry about this. But if she did, hopefully you've noted it back from disc 1. This is where you fix her ability to get Bird Killer. So once we've done with her equipment, we'll go to her abilities, and we're going to hit R1 twice. Level up ability. We're going to scroll right to Quina, down right, level up, millionaire, R1, clear-headed. And we're done. It's a nice quick menu. And you just want to proceed through Hilde Garde. Ideally, we'd like to be able to kill one single ogre encounter. You do not want to be fighting double ogre encounters, really. If you get a preemptive strike on double ogre encounters, there is an argument for killing them. But I would recommend against killing the double ogre encounters, period, if you're fighting them head on. They can just kill you. They are very lethal. Grimlocks as well, you don't want to fight them. Perfect. So we got our single ogre encounter just like we wanted. The way that we're going to deal with these things quickly is I'm actually going to wait and have his turn. Having his turn? Because of trance. Okay. So it's really important that Freya, Zidane, and Amaranth all survive this fight. All of them need AP and EXP in order to make sure they learn everything they need. So we're going to swing with Zidane, check for crits, throw an exploder, attack with Freya just to make sure that it dies. And that is the power of the yellow scarf, dealing extra damage there, allowing us to kill without having to attack with Freya as well. Okay, cool. So nice bit of experience before we get to Ark. We've got a couple of ability points as well. We've got everything we need so far, so we're going to proceed on. Any more encounters, we're going to make sure that we run away from them. Unfortunately, this one's the preempt. So we don't need to kill this. There is no need to kill this. So just flee. Okay. A little bit of dialogue here before you get ready for the last step. So, if you're brave, you can do this one backwards. You don't really have to alter the camera very much. but I'd recommend against it for the first couple tries. Just spin the camera around, and you want to aim for... You can just about see this mountain angle here. You want that little corner. That's where you want to go towards. When you get to the forest, you can get ragtimers if you head through it. Really slim. You know what, man? I'm going to go through. I've never had one. I'm going to go through right now. And if it gives me one, then that's hilarious. No, not today. I'd always recommend going through this shortest path, though. I wouldn't cut through it. I'd just go through the little bit, rather than going all the way around, if I'm going to go through the forest. And start a step to these tracks in the back here. I'm going to open up our inventory, arrange our inventory, and use the Geisel greens. I wouldn't use this opportunity to heal just yet. You want to heal after you've done your menu at the start of Oeilvert, or after you've done your shop. Mostly because you don't. If you do need to heal, you want to make sure that you're not using all of your resources. If you've used everything up, then it will mess up your inventory slots a little bit. You've always gone all the way around. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. But I as of yet, still have... Actually, no, I have had an encounter once in the forest, and it was on PC. Only on PC, not on PSX though. It's up to you. It's one of those risks that you can choose to take. But I've always gone through the forest, but only through the short bit. All right. So when you get into Oeilvert, I have had good success with walking close to the Moogle and trying to talk to him from a distance. I'm gonna save state real quick. So, like this. So if I hold walk and I sort of like take a little steppy, you can sort of hit him from a distance. Oops, I'm saving it. Whoops. Not save it. So what I'm gonna do to arrange my... Shouldn't have picked up that black belt. It's gonna mess up my stuff a little bit. I fix this. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to load my other state where the menu is actually correct. You shouldn't... So when you're running this, if you've picked up the black belt, it will be in the angel earring slot. You won't have both of these sort of things. So you should never have both of these things in your inventory. So for the sake of showing this menu, I'm going to show my actual save state for it. I really shouldn't have picked up the black belt. I wasn't thinking... I was trying to show you jumping onto the bed, then I realized it actually just opened the fucking chest straight away. So, give me a moment. I'll load back into this one afterwards. I will make a quick save state, though. Then I can do the menu afterwards. Here we go. So, this is my menu without the black belt. This is what it should look like. So we'll go to the Mog Shop. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to sell. You want to hit R1. And that should, if your menu is correct, take you immediately to the first thing that you want to sell. If you have used up all of your remedies, or you left your potions in your inventory, or you didn't sell your eye drops and your echo screens and things like that, this will not line up. This is why it's really important to make sure that you sell all of the correct things that you do in the menus that we did earlier. What's good, Cody? So, ideally, when you R1 down, your Magus hat should line up immediately. Sometimes the Magus hat can end up here, or maybe even up here, but for the most part, it's always going to be an R1 down. So you're going to sell the Magus hat, bronze helm, down to the leather plate, right to the chain plate, down once to the leather boots. You press right to the Germanus boots. You sell both of them. Sell both of the yellow scarves. Wait. Why have I got two? Oh, you shouldn't have that. Let me put that back. I guess it doesn't really matter. Should only be one. I thought so. There should only be one. Normally, you'll only have one. That's interesting. I wonder when I messed that up. Let me do that again. So, you're going to sell Magasat, bronze helm, leather plate, chain plate, desert boots, Germanus boots, yellow scarves, or scarf. There should only be one to sell there. Amethyst, keep the diamond, sapphire, topaz, or keep the lapis, opal, peridot, angel earrings, keeping the aquamarine. So these, the aquamarine, the diamond, and the lapis are the only gems that you ever want. You never want any more than just those three. I sold my rebirth ring, didn't I? No. No, I sold the angel earrings. There should be a rebirth ring in here. That's hilarious. But there isn't. Whatever. Butterfly sword, pinions, tents. Then we go to the buy. Straight. First thing you do is R1, go to Silver Fork, buy 2 of these. Go back up. 1 trident, 1 magic racket, R1 down. 2 diamond gloves, R1 down to get the judo uniform. L1 back up. 1 mantra band, 1 dark hat, 2 green berets. Oops, let me put that back. And then from the green beret, if you need it, high potions here. So you should, if you've got the money, you buy 21 of those. And then R1 once again to buy yourself an anointment. If you do not have the money to buy as many high potions as you need, so say you've got this much money left, you press up and then you press left. You take 1 high potion off, R1 down, buy 1 anointment. You should always make sure that you've got at least 1 more anointment in your inventory at this point in the game. That's important. Right. Let's go back to where we were. So, slightly out of place menu, but the majority... So, these items down here can be a little bit skewed sometimes, but for the most part, they should all be in the same place. The most important bit is the Magus, bronze, leather, chain, desert, Germanus, scarf, amethyst, sapphire. See, these can change a little bit as well. Or opal, peridot, angel earrings. It's the most important thing is that you hit things in the same order. And then when you R1 up, you should usually end up on Rune Tooth. So make sure you do go up to the butterfly sword, up to the pinions, and then right and up to the tents. This bit's always like this in this order. That bit's all fine. It's just this bit down here is a little bit scuffed. This bit changes quite a lot anyway. Just because. So just be ready for it. Take your time a little bit. Pay attention to what gems you need. So, 2 silver forks, trident, magic racket, R1 down. Buy yourself 2 diamond gloves, R1 to judo, L1 back up, a mantra, a dark hat, 2 green berets, 20 high potions, and anointment. Now, because we killed an ogre in Hilde Garde 1, we can do what's called a split menu. If you didn't kill the ogre in Hilde Garde 1, then you do not do this menu here. I'm going to make an extra save state. If you killed the ogre, you can go ahead and do this menu. If you didn't, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this menu. I'm going to show you it. And then when I get to the bit at the end where we do the rest of this menu or the full menu, is I'll just show you them both anyway. So straight into Zidane, you're going to optimize, wrap around to his accessory, put a lapis on him, I1 over to Freya, optimize, roll straight past Quina. Do not touch Quina. If you optimize Quina here, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Optimize Amaranth. You notice he's got the rebirth ring. That's not good. Put the lapis on him instead. That's normal, don't worry. And then we're going to go into the abilities. So depending on how your Aether went in Dis 2, you can have HP 10 here as well. Don't worry if you haven't learned it, you'll finish learning it later anyway. But if you don't have it, you should always have accuracy plus. So pop that on, R1, R1, up once to ability, and then hold down to get straight down to clear-headed. Scroll down to Zidane, accuracy plus, R1 to get straight to counter, R1 again, down right, down, down, get to clear-headed, L2 twice to an undead killer, and up left to get to bird killer. Nice and quick. Freya, MP attack, press right once to get to bird killer, R1 up, cover, down, down to level up, R1 to get down towards clear-headed like this, and then L1, down 1, get to counter. So because this is when you're usually equipping HP 10, this is when I normally do whatever healings I've got. Yeah, this game's full of stuff like that, unfortunately, Cody. This is when you can do your healing. Make sure you haven't got anyone inflicted with trouble before you go in. So if you did kill your first ogre, we have now set up to be able to start dealing with ogres from Hilde Garde 2 and 3. So if we get any single ogres during our time in Oeilvert now, we can actually kill one and attribute that towards our experience and AP for Hilde Garde 2 and 3, and take that early level up EXP, HP into Ark to make the fight more reliable. Just hold up. That's actually kind of lucky. If I'm not actually sure, but I think if you talk that Moogle from a distance, you can skip a check there. I haven't really looked, but I've noticed a lot better luck since I've been doing it. You don't walk straight up to the Moogle, like run over to him and like, you know, cuddle him and stuff, and you're less likely to get the encounter, I think. Try and talk to him from a distance. Alright, so when we get inside, no encounter, nice. We're going to head straight up this ramp straight in front of us. I'll press right a little bit to get up it. In this first room. So, PSX players, just hold left and touch this orb. PC players can grab this. Don't get it on PSX unless you want to get a random battle. You're probably going to get one. It's got an elixir in it. You shouldn't need it. PC players can grab it. If you're really new to the game and you want to make sure you've got enough elixirs, be my guest. But I have never grabbed that chest. In here, you want to hook around this thing on the floor, whatever the hell it is, and get down here where there's a chest. Try and hit it from the top angle if you can, like there. Don't go too close to it. And then when you just hold left here, you don't actually need to get close to this hologram. Just holding left will actually pull you up a little bit closer. As you can see, Zidane's been moved closer for us and saved us a tiny bit of distance. It's a vertical trigger rather than where you are horizontally as well, or the vice versa. Head straight into here. So this screen confuses a lot of people with how you move. It's actually not too bad once you've done it once or twice, but the way that it's positioned is that it's sort of, you hold right. It's sort of like it's crooked, like 45 degrees or so to the right. So if you hold right, you'll go straight to this chest. You want to grab this chest first, get the power vest, and then up left to get to this ramp, up. And then once you get to about here, you can hold up left, and then just left to get straight to this. Once you get to this one, this terminal, you hold down left to exit out of here and split the screen. So this is one of the only screens on PC that you should split. Pretty much, like I think there's only like maybe 1 or 2 screens on PC that get split, and this is one of them. When you come out, you can just hold upright and start mashing, and that will hit this terminal. Continue to hold upright to get this chest. Get the feather boots, and now if you hold down into down right to get down the stairs, just hold down. You'll need to move a little bit to the right to get this terminal on the corner here, and then you can just hold left, mash on this terminal, and then hold left to leave. So, what have we got? We got a single ogre. Okay, cool. Let's pretend for a moment. Let's talk about some encounters here. So, in these rooms, you can either fight single, double ogres, or epitaph. On the bridge screens, you can also fight Garudas, but we'll get to those in a moment. Ogres and epitaphs are the only things that you can really safely kind of deal with in this run. This is a really, really good kill for us. We're actually quite fortunate this has come up, in a way. We can deal with this, we can get some extra experience, and we can make our Ark fight nice and safe. If this were an epitaph, and we hadn't killed our Ark previously, and we need that, because you need some AP before you get into the Ark battle, before you do your menu shortly, it would be a really, really, really good idea to soft this epitaph. Only for the AP. You only ever really want to soft epitaphs if you need the AP, or if Zidane's ATB is really bad. The reason for that is because they put gemstones in your inventory. And you don't want gemstones in your inventory. They get in the way, they make your menu slower, and they're a pain when it comes to endgame menus. You don't want to see any of those. So we're going to go ahead and kill this. And we've got fairly good ATB on these two characters that matter. Again, we're going to throw our other exploder wherever it is. There it is. Make sure you don't throw anything else. So I believe the ogres in Oeilvert are a little bit stronger than usual. You'll most likely need Freya to finish them off. So that's going to count towards one of our Hilde Garde 2 and 3 encounters. We now only need to kill one more encounter after Ark. Or in here. We could still kill it in here, to be fair. Coming out of here, we're going to hold up until we get past this stone. Try and hook round it to get the shield armor. And then head up into this doorway here. So for this bridge, you just hold right. There's no angles or anything, just right. We're probably going to get a Garuda battle here. They're fairly common. Garudas can be pretty lethal. You don't really want to kill them because they can give you too much experience. Try and avoid killing them if you can. Be careful that they don't just kill Zidane. They can use an ability called Maelstrom, which reduces a character to critical. If you get a double Garuda encounter, they can Maelstrom Zidane followed by an aerial slash, and that can really mess you up. I would highly recommend just throwing like a Phoenix down into a high potion on him or something. Make sure that he gets back into the fight fairly quickly, and then using those consumables to get lots of flea checks if you do get those encounters. But to be honest, I haven't had that happen yet. It's pretty rare. So I'm kind of hoping we encounter an Epitaph. I might force one in a moment just to show you how you can kill them if you really, really want to. Through this. So if you're still struggling for any AP and you haven't found your ogre, get through this. So in this screen, you want to hold down right coming out of here into down. Down right to get out. And just hold left to go back into this other room. And you want to hold up right to get around this corner. Sort of weasel around there. It's a nice screen to split right across here. Down right to make sure the angle's okay. And then activate this huge terminal. So anytime after you've picked up the shield armor, which was the last chest we picked up before we went over the large bridge, you are able to do the other half of your split menu or your other full menu if you've got your AP sorted after that point. It's like I said, you need to make sure that you've killed something. You need something for your AP. Or else you're going to have to start applying some backups. Split the screen up here, hold down to go back through. And then you want to go over to this chest and stand by it without opening it yet. This is where we're going to do our menu. So heal everyone up first. Make sure everyone's okay. If you leveled up, then you're going to have some extra HP to deal with. Go to your equipment with Freya. You're going to optimize her to put the shield armor on her. R1 twice to go to Amaranth. Wrap round and just put the power vest on. The reason why we do this first is because otherwise there's a Gaia gear in the way. If you pick up the Gaia gear and you haven't done your split menu and you pick up the Gaia gear before doing your menu, it can get in the way really badly. So you want to always make sure you get into your head that you're doing your menu before you pick up the Gaia gear. That's it. We can grab this and then proceed. Okay, so I'm going to make another save state and then I'm going to reload. So this is pre-menu, isn't it? Yeah. So now we're going to pretend that we've not got the extra experience or whatever. So let's just kill this one quick. Get the AP that we need. So we didn't kill. Let's pretend that we didn't kill anything in Hilde Garde 1, and we're now killing this encounter so that we get the AP that we need after arriving in Oeilvert. It's still alive. All right, let's pretend. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's still alive. You can kind of see the issue that... Oh my god, which fancy. Alright, he's dead. There we go. Perfect. So now let's say we've killed our first ogre, yeah? I'm gonna fucking heal. Proceed. That was because we had trouble on. So you can imagine how bad these guys can be when there's two of them. So, if you haven't done your menu and you're proceeding through as normal, now we're getting shafted by encounters. Okay. So, if you still haven't killed your encounter and you're running out of time and you still need to get your AP and ideally your EXP, there is a way that you can deal with epitaphs. It is quite slow. If you're going for a really good time and you're trying to stay competitive, just soft them and just forget the experience. Don't worry about it. You'll be a little bit underleveled, but you'll be able to deal with it because hopefully by that point you're a bit more experienced. If you are slightly more new to the game and you want to make sure that you're getting the experience you need, you want to make sure that you're getting the levels that you need, the way that you deal with these guys is that you wait for Zidane to get his ATB, you queue up a basic attack with anyone, shift to Zidane and hold ATB. Do not let go. When these things take damage, they open up a mirror. Like that. These things have instant ATB and they do a lot of damage. So by holding ATB, you are preventing it from having its turn. Zidane will always one-shot these things. So I'll queue Zidane here. He'll go ahead and just kill it off. Oh no. Alright, now things start to get messy. So I'm going to go ahead and just soft off the epitaph. What you would normally do is have Zidane attack, he'd kill it off in one hit, and then somebody else would soft the epitaph. So Zidane should get in front of it here. So that'll deal with the epitaph, and now Zidane should hopefully finish him off. There we go. How messy. But that's how you deal with epitaphs. Luckily, it didn't target Zidane because they can do a lot of damage. Depending on what room you're in, they can assume different forms. I don't know what forms come from which rooms. But if it takes control of somebody and then it attacks that character, I think it kills them instantly. If it attacks somebody else, it deals a bit less damage. But I'm not really sure which ones spawn where. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab this. This is obviously not the way that you're supposed to do it, but I just want to get the equipment that we need to do the full menu. So I can show you it and carry on with Ark. So let's say that we got our experience from one of those battles on the way in, and now we're ready to do the full menu because we didn't do any of our menus outside. So we picked up the power vest, and we'll do all this, and then we'll proceed out as usual. And as we come round, we'll go up and we'll get the shield armor. So at any point after you've picked up the shield armor, you can do your menu. That's when you've got everything that you need. So start by going into your equipment. You're going to optimize Zidane, put the lapis on him. Oh wait, no. The optimize... No, it's not. It's optimize... optimize Amaranth first. I'm not looking at my notes. You optimize Amaranth first, and then put the lapis on him. Where's our other lapis? Oh, it's on Freya. I know what it is. You optimize Amaranth, you optimize Zidane, put the lapis on him, scroll to Freya, optimize, and then scroll back to Amaranth and put the lapis on him. I'm gonna double check though. That was a bit messy, sorry. I could rewind and do it properly. I don't do the full menu very often. It's quite rare that you have to do this. Yeah, so normally it would be you optimize Amaranth, you optimize Zidane, put the Lapis on him, optimize Freya, scroll back to Amaranth, put the Lapis on him manually. Because Freya would have the other Lapis on him and you wouldn't be able to put the Lapis on Zidane if you already gave it to Zidane. Sorry, you wouldn't be able to put it on Amaranth until after you've taken it off of Freya. Once you've done that, your abilities are then the same. You open this up, accuracy, R1 twice, ability, clear-headed, accuracy, counter, clear-headed, undead, bird, distract, bird, cover, level up, clear-headed. She's not got the power belt on because I did things in the wrong order. But ultimately, you want to be aiming to do the split menu to give yourself more opportunities to get kills. You can see kind of how they're the same sort of deal. I'm sorry I didn't do that very much justice in that little series there. I don't really want to reload more. But you can see kind of how it works. Okay. So moving back to Ark. So we've done all our menus, we've got all of our kills, we've got a Hilde Garde 1 encounter, and then we've got our extra encounter, so we're ready to go. We only need one more when we get to Hilde Garde 2. And 3, for that matter. And we're going to proceed into the Ark battle. So, the primary way that we're going to be dealing damage to Ark is through throwing Silver Forks. Making sure that we throw the Diamond Sword is kind of preferred. Throwing with Amaranth is slow, so I have heard from Bomb Bomb that you want to try and avoid using throws, but I've never actually killed him without using all of my throw items before. I think trance and stuff can kind of alter what gets thrown. So I'm going to go ahead and punch 20,002 damage into my calculator here. If I get any preempts, I'll just take them, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any. What's happening? Whirlwind. Attacking the trances. Alright. Cool. Game. Okay, so I guess this is cool. I have actually looked up the trance fight for this recently. You can 2-turn it if you get instantly trance like we have just been. You want to be throwing a Silver Fork and you want to be using Grand Lethal followed by a Silver Fork and 2 attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Silver Fork. As long as you did your menu correctly, Silver Forks will always be at the top of your inventory. It's the primary reason why when we were in our buy menu, we buy them first. Because we have sold items. What was it? We sold the Phoenix Pinions, which I believe were at the top of our inventory, and that's where we put the Silver Forks in our inventory. So they are the highest piece of equipment on our menu at this point. You can see the magic racket is underneath it because we bought that immediately afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a Silver Fork, go on to Zidane, Q. We don't have the mana for it. Okay, let's pretend we have the mana for it. Yeah. So if you don't have the mana for it, I don't know if this is faster, but you could just drop an Ether on him. So I guess if you're aware that you're going into this encounter and you've got a trance coming up, you can get ready. You can get ready by ethering him during the healing menus and stuff, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't thinking about it, let's be honest. So I'll Q a Grand Lethal and I'll swing here. So this should do about 8,000 damage. Yeah, 7, 6, something 3. 1206 from Freya. And then he's going to have his turn. So he's actually one touch away, so I can just swing here. Leave. Throw a Silver Fork behind it to make sure he dies. I did the math wrong. Yeah, there you go. Kill him in 2 turns. If you trance after turn 2... Sorry, if you trance on turn 2, you will have to ether him, I imagine. But the same rules apply. If you want to ether him, you can kill it. I guess throwing an ether and saving an entire turn is probably better. You just make sure you're inputting the commands quickly. I'd probably throw something with Amaranth first before I get into it. So if I, just for the sake of it, work. I'm trying to show. I would like to show you a normal fight. In fact, I know what I'll do. I'll load my other save. So this is set up normally, as it should be. These are my own other save states. Zidane's not going to trance, and I'll show you what a fight normally looks like. To be honest, trancing on Ark is actually quite rare, and that's not happened to me in a very long time. And the fact that he gave it me first turn like that was pretty crazy. So, preemptive on Amaranth seems pretty good, so I'm just going to get that Silver Fork out there. Swing with Freya, and then maybe if I'm lucky I'll get that in here as well. I'll just queue it because these guys don't really do much else. Propeller Wind is nothing. This attack does nothing to you. As long as you've done your menu correctly, everyone should have confusion protection. Freya doesn't have accuracy plus, so she can miss, but it's not the end of the world. We may need to go into our 4th turn here because only Amaranth got a preempt. Boomerang's coming out. Okay, so we'll swing. We'll throw the Diamond Sword. So you kind of want to be throwing the Diamond Sword in this encounter because it means that you won't have to manually keep equipping the Coral Sword on Steiner during Desert Palace. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and put a high potion on Zidane here as well. Make sure that he doesn't die to anything else. I'm going to queue it all last. Yeah, so he's got 5,000 HP here. So he's going to live. Annoyingly, it doesn't seem like Zidane's going to be able to kill here. Okay, so Photon means we're going to get away with it. So I'll swing with Zidane. Try and go for a critical. And then I'll put Freya behind it. And I'll sort of just hold ATB afterwards with Amaranth. Make sure everything's okay. About 200 HP. Yeah, so Freya not having accuracy plus means that you can actually miss. So I don't know how much Amaranth does. We find out. So I'm pretty sure Amaranth doesn't kill here, but I'm going to poke and see what happens. Yeah, I didn't think so. So if this happens, and you're in a really, really tough situations like this, you need to heal. You need to heal, because you need to be ready just in case anything goes wrong. So throw a couple high potions. Amaranth only has 3 things to throw in this encounter. This is an example of a bad fight. This way, if Zidane does go down, Amaranth should be fine. Amaranth can pick up Zidane. So he's doing another whirlwind anyway, so we're getting away with it. I think. Okay, so we'll Phoenix down with Amaranth, and then we'll attack with Freya. Because Z, Freya, and Amaranth all really need AP here. Don't worry about Freya though; she's okay. Sorry, don't worry about Quina. She's okay. You don't need Quina AP. Cool. So when you've been whirlwinded by this boss, Boomerang will deal more damage. When you're levitated, Boomerang hits a lot harder. So keep that in mind. If he does whirlwind turn 1, make sure Zidane's got plenty of HP. Amaranth is back road, so he doesn't take very much damage from physical attacks. Freya is wearing the shield armor, so she has a higher defense stat than Zidane anyway. But I would strongly recommend against queuing turns in advance after turn 1. Just to make sure that you don't accidentally kill it and leave some people dead. So I'm just going to get through our actual save really quick. I think I made a save after the fight, foolishly. This is an example of us not getting instant trance. more common. I'm gonna swing with everyone else. And so because he's been photon turn 1, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and drop an elixir on him. Because when Zidane's under 450 HP or so, he can just die. My calculator's not working, so I'm going to go blind, unfortunately. So everyone's at full HP, so we can go ahead and just queue that Silver 4 Cup. Propeller wind, nice, we're not taking any damage here. I'd quite like Zidane to trance, if I can get rid of it. If you don't, you really do not want to be taking Zidane trance into Red Dragons. That's a bad idea. So on this turn, I'm going to reverse turn order, because I want to try for criticals first. Oh, he's going to trance anyway. So I'm going to throw the... What you could do here is you could swing with Freya afterwards and go for lethal without using the broadsword, the diamond sword, because it would be a little bit faster. But I want to show you what the menus look like after you've gotten rid of the diamond sword, because that's what happens 9 times out of 10. But this should be lethal. Yep, cool. Okay. Once you've killed Ark, you need to do a menu before you touch the Gulag Stone. Don't forget this menu, it's really important. We're going to equip Freya first. We're going to go down for accessory, R1. Wait, no. Oh, it is diamond, isn't it? Yeah, it is the diamond. Yeah, diamond, linen cuirass. And then we're going to hit R1 to go over to Quina, optimize, and then straight here, and then coral ring should be immediately there. And that's it. If, again, you died to Gizamalook, when you're doing Freya's equipment, you will also need to put the Iron Helm on her. If you do so, you will also need to manually re-equip. Level up. That should be on. That should be on. Oh, that'd be okay. If you didn't learn level up during I can't remember. If you didn't learn level up during disc 1 and things like that, and the start of disc 3, as we were doing, you'll need to manually re-equip it when you take the Iron Helm offer after you optimized when you got to Oeilvert. So when you get to Oeilvert, you optimize the Lamia's Tiara honor to learn clear to use clear-headed. Ideally, we don't learn clear-headed, so that we can get that on and not get confused by Ark. If you didn't get enough AP to learn Iron Helm, then you need to put it on manually here. So there are some rules. There are some rules that are in Petro's notes that tell you when you need to put level up back on. Oh, I guess it doesn't need to be on. Oh, we're good. We're good. To get that. So if you so in the notes that will say, so if you equip level up on Freya, if you're not on track for level 24 after Amdusias, should be at least 8,430 experience at this point. Yep, so we're good. As a rule of thumb, satisfy all 3 conditions to skip equipping level up on Freya. And there's a bunch of stuff. If you read Petro's notes, there is a chunk of text on this. To be honest, I have not put level up on her for ages. Because you put it on when you fight Tahaka anyway, to get ready for the Amdusias battle. Oh, okay. So if you didn't, yeah, there's a bunch of conditions. Yeah, alright, I should pay attention to that. If you killed at least 1 encounter in Clara Trunk, you didn't lose any Clara soldier experience, and Vivi was dead, or you killed double Trunk in Clowner. There's a bunch of things you actually need to do. So, yeah. Keep an eye on that note in her notes. But what you'll probably need to do most of the time is, well, if you're playing it safe, you shouldn't need to put level up on. If you're not playing safe, then you should put level up on. I did satisfy all those conditions, so I don't need to put that on. Once you've done your equipment, grab this Goodluck Stone.